But people might argue Tasiki jumped into Dolly and Anna's fight, and then she started like, psh, 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 but they. We My new bitch look like Halle Berry. Hi lover girls, hi lover boys. This is Royalty Tea Room, and this is the final episode of Baddies Midwest. I feel like we've been watching this for decades now. This season has been very long. I don't know, between this and Caribbean, I don't know which seasons have been hella long. I mean, extremely long. But yeah, let's just get into it. I don't want to say I'm sad that it's ending, but it's like, I feel like every time it ends, you get like a relief off of your shoulders, but then the anxiety kicks in when the reunion comes, and then they start filming the next season, and by summer we'll be on Baddies Africa. So let's get into the episode though. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and let me know how y'all feel about this. So it starts off picking up where Mel versus Ivory was happening, and Ivory tore. Ivory got her, mopping her. It was it was interesting to see, but yeah, she was definitely beating Mel up, and I don't even know Mel to not like her, but it's just the facts. Tinka's confession, that was everything. She said, I would have sat this one out, which is true, 100%. Like, looking back, it's like, dang, Mel has heart, because couldn't be me. But yes, then Anna and Nunu start going back and forth, and I don't even know why that started. Maybe, I guess, behind the scenes, Nunu must have said something, because Anna was just like, shut the F up, you talk too much, and it's like, you both talk too much in reality, but no, I didn't understand why they were fighting. And then Anna clocked Natalie in her confessional. She was like, you let your best friend get jumped. And it's like, she has a point though. Like, she didn't let her get jumped. Like, she didn't initiate it. But I really feel like in the club, in which I'm going to put a pin in this because we're going to talk about it later in the episode. But for right now, I do feel like Natalie did not just go to the club and watch Jayla get jumped. I didn't even see Natalie really around anything that was happening. But if Jayla was getting jumped, would Natalie help? Probably not. So that's just what I think. And I'm pretty sure at the reunion she got jumped and Natalie didn't do anything. Maybe because she was still mad about what happened with DTB and her. But yeah. And then Scotty is in her confessional saying, okay, so then Anna starts going crazy. Not hysterical, but she's just really upset. I don't know what was happening. But she was just like, I got family here. I'm going to get them. I should really slap y'all. My thing is, you have family in Hawaii. I mean, it could be possible, but it's a little far stretched. How much family? She was saying it like she got cousins, aunties, the whole 9 yards. And I just don't really believe that. But yeah, Scotty said in her confessional, she really wants to beat her up. And when I watched that, I was like, but maybe she just can't, so that's why she's just upset, And every time Anna gets mad when she fights, she always says, oh, I beat you up. At this point, we already know it's Delulu, so that was pointless. So now Rolly and Natalie are kikiing about Scotty because they left that restaurant. So Natalie and Rolly are just behind a car, and she's saying Scotty is crazy for yelling at Natalie, saying, hit her.
That's easy. I'll tell you what you do. Oh, okay. You want to try to box up?
My thing is, she's not crazy for saying that. She's saying the honest truth, what the viewers are saying at home, and what anyone would say in that predicament. But I mean, Natalie does have a point about saying she doesn't need to fight anymore because she said, quote, decades.
I have a strong personality. I'm not about to. Oh, sure, stick her up your ass.
So it's yeah, she doesn't need to fight, but then she just needs to be behind the scenes. If you're not gonna do what these other girls are doing on this show, then maybe behind the camera is just where you belong, Besides, we really don't want to see Natalie fight. I don't, at least. So then Lex and Summer get on the Sprinter, and they both still want to fight, which, do I understand why? No, because I am still stuck on why Lex wanted to fight in the first place. Somebody help me out. She came to Baddies saying she didn't like that Jayla was, bullying Gretch and Biggie, right? Okay, check. They fought first 2 episodes. Okay, that should have been that. But she's saying when it's 2-on-2, versus Summer. She's not gonna let that happen, and that's why she jumped into it. My thing is, it wasn't 2-on-2. Summer started with Jayla when they were on that hayride thingy. I can't remember which city it was, and Jayla responded back, but it really didn't become anything big. And then Dolly started with Jayla in the club, and now, because Lex was saying later in the episode, I know I'm jumping, she was saying, oh, you should know better not to start nothing at bookings, and they were trying to tell her, like, it was your friend, and Lex was just not getting it. She was like, that's not true. Well, now you're gonna see it is true. So I'm very intrigued on what Lex is gonna post, saying that, oh, well, I didn't realize that Dolly actually started it, because now you know Dolly started it. So what was your reason for fighting Jayla? Now you look like ridiculous. You didn't have a reason. But I mean, they fought at the reunion, and apparently it was like a bloodbath. So, but yeah, Ivory's happy. She's happy with her outcome. Of course, I would be too. I mean, she was dogging Mel, respectfully. Anna is still pissed, and she is like still yelling. Like, I don't want to put the world's smallest violin. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, throughout the seasons Anna has been on, it was kind of coming. I just hate the way it did come. Like, we all wanted to kind of see her get beat up in a way, but we didn't really want to see it get done by Summer. It's like, ugh, anybody else. But it's 50-50, you know? It's like, we don't like Summer, but at the same time, Anna, you jumped into things. You pick and choose, and your mouth is like this. Like, that's just, it's like 50-50, you know? But low-key, Jayla is correct about Lex. In her confessional, was it in her confessional? Yeah, she was saying, like, the newbies are entitled as, you know, they are very entitled. And my thing is, I think she has a point, but at the same time, if she was a newbie, like, let's say Jayla was never on BGC, she would probably do the same thing that the newbies are doing. I don't know, maybe it's a personality thing, but I feel like a lot of people, once they join Baddies, especially if, like, previous reality TV people, stars, are on the show, then they might want to show out. They might feel entitled. Like, it's, you know, Bad Girls Club, they really humbled them by taking away their phones, you know, having cameras on them. If you say this without a mic on you, you get fined. Baddies is very laid back, very, you know, just chill. And I think that is backfiring, because a lot of the newbies do become entitled when they get on there. So I think Jayla has a point about that, but the network made it that way. And then Biggie was also correct in her confessional. She said, she was correct about Natalie, what she was saying about Natalie hiding in the truck with the protected windows, but it was hypocritical because Biggie she never stands in the paint. So, right message, wrong messenger. And then Anna clocked Natalie when she said, like, when she was saying all that stuff about Natalie and the sprinter, saying you let your best friend get jumped and stuff, and now you look like a cheated girl. I was gagging. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I have a love-hate relationship with Anna, because, yes, I like her. She is funny. She be clocking tea for sure. But it's just, I don't like the jumping. I did not like them jumping new and then laughing about it. I didn't, you know, I just don't like that she doesn't really stand up for herself. Not as much as, like, Mariah does when Lose or Draw. I feel like Anna always wants to win. And that's not the case. And if it is the case, if you always want to win a fight, then don't say stuff to, like, people who can beat you up like Lex, you know, like E.T. So there's that. And now the big three, Tasiki, Anna, and Biggie, are talking about it. And Tasiki said she thinks Summer is slow. And it's like, yeah, 100%. So now it's the next day, and Nat calls Lex, and they talk about last night. You know, she's like, oh, you did your big one, etc. You know, Mel and Ivory was crazy. She's saying Ivory did her stuff, and so did Lex. And Lex give us another Disney Channel confession. I swear, I literally was, like, doing my notes, and I heard her say that. I literally rolled my eyes. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm low-key excited that this season is over, because that means I don't have to hear her Disney Channel confessions.
Hey, I'm Hilary Duff from Lizzie McGuire, and you're watching Disney Channel.
I know she's coming back for Africa. Lex, if you ever see this, take some tips. You gotta get this baddie energy. It's not flowing in your confessional. You're the only one. It's just not. No. Just work on it, babe. Just work on. It's really just the dialect, the tone. You gotta, you know, that's what it is. Jayla pulls up on Natalie, which I loved this. I was like, finally, because it is diabolical. Y'all are friends, and there's never been really a real conversation outside of Baddies South when Jayla and Natalie had like a one-on-one conversation by the balcony. But it continues to happen, and Jayla hasn't been on every season since then. But this is nice to see. She checks her about getting jumped in the club.
I get jumped because I'm pretty, because you're mad.
And Natalie was just trying to make all these excuses, and then when Jayla showed her the video, Natalie's just like, I was right there, and I'm just like, Jayla, you low-key wasted your time. I get what you were trying to do. I would have done it too, but this is someone who, I don't want to say is narcissistic. She just doesn't realize. Maybe she does and doesn't give a shit. What is that called? You tell me. But yeah, Natalie's lying, and then she had the audacity to say she's the CEO of Baddies. Lemmy Pepper, I feel like he's never confirmed that, so I wonder if he knows that his employee is claiming to be the boss. Just saying. But yeah, in the end, I don't think Jayla believes Natalie. Smart gal. Now Natalie is talking to Rolly in the sprinter. She's like, and then, oh yes, Rolly said, I pick and choose my fights. And I was like, we got it on video. Why are y'all bringing her back? She just said, quote, she picks and chooses her fights. I miss One More Chance Rolly some days. Some days I really do. And Natalie's talking unlimited crap, but she's protected in the vehicle, so she can do it, without caring. Scotty, this made me low-key sad because I like Scotty. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I really do like her. I feel like me and her would be friends if we ever met. But Scotty starts breaking down, and
Don't cry, Judy.
I want my mom.
I felt bad for her because she, you can tell that she, battles things, mentally. And that's why it's yes, people don't like certain things about her, but I think overall she is a good person. People be like, oh, she's not a girl's girl. Allegedly she took someone's man. It's I don't know. I like Scotty. I really do. But yeah, she starts crying before even attempting to talk to Natalie, which I get it. It probably gave her a lot of anxiety because Natalie is going to treat her like crap. Every time Scotty tries to explain herself to Natalie, she's such a good friend to her, Natalie still treats her like crap and, gaslights her and everything, and it's just not healthy. Big Lex and that house, I'm not going to name everyone in there, y'all know, they get on the sprinter, and they're all in good spirits. Of course they would be, because Lex won her fights, and Summer is jump-a-hoe. So.
Not coming out with us no more. You're not. Huh? What's funny? That. What's funny? That. You're not coming out with me no more. You're gonna pop off. You're gonna pop off. Pop off. Pop off. Slap my face, bitch.
So, yeah. And then at the same time, Tink gets in the car with Natalie and Rolly. And then the other girls, Jayla's group, Anna and Tasiki, are in the car. And Jayla basically, she just looks, I don't want to say defeated, over it, really. And she just said, I have no positive quote today. So if itch try you, swing on them. Crash out. I loved it. I was like, that's so real. But yeah, she looked over it. Honestly, everyone looked over it, except for Summer. That's a red flag. Now Big Disney Lex is talking in her sprinter saying she's not satisfied, and I'm just like, what do you mean? You don't even really have a reason to. Okay. Anyways, they're at the waterfall now, and Ivory was looking out the window. She was like, what is this? This ain't no waterfall. It's nothing but abandoned cars. And I was like, I get that, because I would have said the same thing too. Where is the water? Where is the waterfall? But I guess in Hawaii they gotta walk to it. I guess most waterfalls you might have to walk to it. I don't know. I don't think I've ever been to one. So now they're walking up, and they were walking in that jungle, and they're better than me because no, absolutely not. Jayla's crew arrives, and they definitely don't like it. I heard Anna say something about there could be snakes, and that would have had me running because I do not like snakes. And then Jaden, hello mother. I don't want to say it because I don't want you two to ban me. Jaden should not come back. We could not hear her in a confessional. Her voice is always cracking. It's just giving dry, wispy air, and it irritates me, my sound, But yeah, why do they have to walk through trees to shoot a scene? I think that's a little troublesome. Why can't you just shoot the scene regular? You guys can't fight, right? I don't know. Zeus, I saw that thing with D-Storm, and it's I don't want 20 years from now there to be a documentary on them, So now they're at the mountain. They're talking about last night, and Summer is now talking directly to Jayla, and she's saying she wanted to get to know her. Lies. And Summer talking to Anna, saying potentially they could be cool. Lies. Lex is next. She starts with talking to Jayla directly, and she's still trying to make excuses, saying she should have known better and not fought because she's an OG. But it's like, y'all should have known better. Y'all grown. Doesn't matter if you're OG or not. Y'all adults. There's no title to this. Everyone should know better. Dolly shouldn't have walked over there. Period. And then she said that she was gonna miss Dolly in Summer, and she started crying. And when she started crying, I was like,
See the trash.
next time on Disney Channel. Like, I was like, oh my god. I was like, okay. I mean, I felt whatever she was trying to feel in that moment. Like, she made it out of college, because I don't think she's a hood. I mean, I could be wrong. But yeah, she made it out and her life changed. So congratulations on that. Not hating. It's just, I don't know, something about when she talks, it's the message. It's not really the messenger. It's like just that message. Just, no. Brittany P is next, and I liked her outro, and she said it was a baddie boot camp, and I was like, yes. And I'm so happy she's back for Africa. I like Pretty P. Ivory's next. I also like Ivory. I'm happy she's back for Africa. She said she's happy to be here, and she had a lot of fun. And I could tell her booty was like this. I loved it. Jazz is next. She said she had a blast. She said that these itches are a lot. Yes, we know. And I know she was specifically talking about Summer. And she is a real baddie, okay? Nunu is next. She starts off saying she's grateful for the opportunity. She said she ain't gonna miss anybody, which I love. Like, Nunu's pretty real. So now, in the middle of that, Scotty starts walking up, and she said that she sees a darkness up there, and I totally understand what you mean, Scotty. That darkness was Summer. And I'm not talking about her complexion. I'm talking about her, like her aura. Nunu finishes talking, and for some reason, Anna, like, chimes in and says, like, oh, you should thank me. And it's like, that was a little unneeded. And it's like moments like that where we're happy Anna got beat up. And then it's moments what Summer does, we're like, dang, it was Summer. And Nunu said that production told her not to whoop Anna's butt again. And I was like, clock it. Because she don't realize that she is getting protected and saved a lot.
If you call that an ass beating, I can't wait to get stomped.
So then Nat starts talking. She says, does anyone have anything to say? And Rolly chimes in and starts saying Nat needs to get to know the newbies more because they are stars. Now, I said, hold up, Rolly. A few of them, like Pretty P, Jazz, Nunu, even though she's not like a newbie, potentially Lex, if she did not start with Jayla. But Dolly, I need to see more of her. I really didn't get to see a lot of her this season because of her injuries. And then Summer is a heck no. So, yeah. And then Rolly calls Natalie out because Natalie tried to say something because everyone started like talking and stuff all over each other. And Natalie tried to say something and Rolly was like, no, that's not what you said in the sprinter. And I was like, yes, this is the Rolly we missed. Now, if you could be like this through the whole season, you're back.
You are prettier in person. I thought you were really ugly on TV.
You're back to number one like you used to be. Like, I think on Baddie South, she was like very favored. So that's all you need, Rolly. It's not that hard. Rolly is saying that everyone has been tag teaming and jumping except for Tasiki and Tinka, which, yes, but people might argue Tasiki jumped into Dolly and Anna's fight, and then she started like, psh, 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 but they weren't fighting. I guess they were just getting into it. So, but yeah, she's pretty much right. That was the only two who like wasn't jumping. And that was real, you know, and that's real because Rolly is cool with Jayla and Scotty and probably other OGs, and it could have ruffled some feathers, but she was like, hey, it doesn't take much to be real. And I said, yes, tat that somewhere, please. Tinka's next. She said she's happy to be here and that she was once in the auditions, hot as heck, waiting for these O's, and I was like, real. I like Tinka some episodes, and then some episodes, if like with the Akbar thing, I didn't really like it, but overall, I like Tinka. Biggie is next, and I swear she is delusional. Like, I used to love Biggie, y'all, and it just, I don't know what happened. I mean, how could she say to Nunu, don't talk to me, but she called her out first? I mean, I really want y'all to, like, make that go viral when Zeus drops the episode and everything, because how, she really said that on national TV, and it's like, Biggie, you don't look well at all. But Biggie went out sad, like really she did. Nunu ate her up in the confessional. She said something about Notre Dame and a big humpback, and I was like, that is funny. Then Biggie said she wanted to like Lex and Summer. I believe that. But Lex tries to justify her actions again. And then Tasiki accidentally calls Jazz Summer, and that became a whole big thing. I don't know why. She says that she regrets the sit down with Krishan, which that was pretty traumatic for her, I guess. And then Jaden popped up. Loki forgot she was there. She said she's grateful everyone welcomed her with open arms except for Biggie, and open arms except for Biggie. And why does her voice always break, y'all? We need to start a poll on that. Scotty's next. She says that Lex only wanted to fight her because she beat Summer up, and I was like, clock it. She said she respects Natalie, which is crazy to me because she was just breaking down about that. So, but whatever. Everyone needs to check, right? She said her favorite part was ripping Emma's wig, and I was like, that's really your favorite part, and I totally forgot about that until they showed it on the screen. I thought her favorite part would be beating Summer up. That would have been my favorite part, Scott. You need to redo that and say something else, because Emma's wig, I mean, it was cool to you, but it was basic for us. Anna's next, and she looks defeated. She was just like, gra gra boom, and I was like, karma is gra gra boom. Jayla's next, and she says she's never had an issue with Lex at first, and she will see Lex at the reunion. Yeah, and Summer as well. And when she said that, I was like, I can't wait. I'll be front row watching that on my TV.
Our negativity. We want beauty. No more slut shaming.
What the hell is this?
Jayla starts crying in her confessional, and it really made me sad because I didn't grow up on Jayla. Like, my first season of Bad Girls Club was probably season 10 with like Rocky and Shannon. But Jayla is someone who we've all loved from the beginning, really. And it's just sad what I feel like this show has portrayed her as in a way. But I will always stand by Jayla in my heart. Even if she does something I may not like every now and then, I am a true fan. So, you know, Jayla, if you ever see this or if you ever feel down, just like know you have real fans out there who love you for you before Zeus was ever thought of. Just remember that. But yeah, Natalie then starts talking, and she directs it towards Scotty. Of course, not to say the weakest link, but it's just easy because Scotty allows it. Like, no shade, Scotty, but it's true. And then, you know, Scotty says she's sorry about saying that. She was just feeling for Jayla because she got jumped in the club. And when she said that, it triggered Lex to chime in, saying that she did not get jumped. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's what I was talking about in the beginning, how we're going to see the footage and she's going to look crazy. And yeah, it was just a lot. I was watching that, I was like, wow, she really lied. Then everyone starts arguing, and then 3 people are now getting a chain. So, and I predicted this, and I was 100% correct, and I'm so sad that I was correct about one person. Nunu gets her chain. Yes. Pretty Pete gets one too. Yes. And so does Summer. Now, I was like, oh my gosh, I knew this was going to happen for shock value. You have to entertain me. But I was totally entertained when she opened her box and it was empty. I was like, ah! I'm not a hater. I'm just saying. I love to see it. So Anna's just like, yeah, you broke my chain, so yours is gone. You got to pay for it. And I loved it. And Summer started getting upset, and she throws her box at Scotty, but it hits Jaden. And Jaden's just like, you hit me. And I was like, finally, Jaden, you waited all season. Now you're bucking up. I love that. But yeah, so she doesn't have a chain in the mountains, and she's pretty upset. And then Scotty in her confessional with her dog Capri is just like, she tried to throw, no aim, and I was laughing. I was like, that's funny. But she was like insinuating her dog had the chain. But then in the club we see Natalie put on a real chain on Summer, so that was just for entertainment, but it was funny. I was gagged. Yeah, and they go to the club. Natalie, you know, in her last confessional was just like how some of these OGs wasn't given, you know, how you gonna have the boss waiting for you. But it's like, maybe you're not the boss, ma'am, auntie nun. In a good way. Fun shade. But yeah, that was the last episode of Baddies Midwest. when the reunion comes out, I'm gonna break down like my favorites this season, my least favorites, which you can probably already guess who my least favorites are. Summer. And then like looks, you know, and I'm gonna base like my favorites also on the reunion. That's why I want to wait. I don't want to just like do that at the end of the last episode and then there's still a chunk left, because I feel like the reunion is still part of their story. So I'm gonna do that, you know, when the reunion drops, probably like the last part of the reunion, you know, they split it up. And then yeah, I'm gonna just break it down, my favorites of everything, looks, who's the funniest, who's the dumbest. Maybe I won't do the dumbest, that's subjective, but yeah, who I want to see come back, even though we already know who's coming back, so it's kind of like dang, but who I wanted to see come back, maybe I'll still add that in there. But yeah, y'all tell me how y'all like the season, give me some input on that, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.